stock market is never predictable. Predictable.
Hey, look at this picture of a dead cow.
Contemporary. This is what I had in mind for the lobby. It'll be quite contemporary. Contemporary. Contemporary.
Supposedly. Supposedly. The movie is supposedly based on the novel by the same name. The movie is supposedly based on the novel by the same name.
Definitely. I had a lot of fun today. I'll definitely call you later. Definitely.
You should really cut down on your junk food intake and start exercising.
Informal. It'll inform you of any accidents or bad traffic conditions. Informal.
Visual perception is about interpreting your environment, not just seeing it.
The fashion was definitely different in the 70s.
I've finished my paper apart from the conclusion.
I think this might be too intricate of a plan. I think this might be too intricate of a plan.
Sturdy. Be careful. That chair doesn't seem very sturdy.
I love going to see the little chicks on the farm.
She's one of the greatest actors of our time. She's one of the greatest actors of our time.
The chicks were fed worms by their mother.
People have poor judgment when they're drunk.
If you confess to breaking the mug, I won't punish you.
A lot of Muslims live in my neighborhood.
My fate is in their hands now.
I made a lot of friends and learned a lot of things along the way. I made a lot of friends and learned a lot of things along the way.
Cycle. Economic cycle is the long-term upward and downward movement of the GDP. Economic cycle is the long-term upward and downward movement of the GDP.
Discounted movie tickets only apply to students.
mental illnesses. Excessive stress can make mental illnesses significantly worse.
She rubbed her head and told me she had a headache.
This is what I had in mind for the lobby. It'll be quite contemporary.
The priest delivered the blessing.
It'll inform you of any accidents or bad traffic conditions.
Tipsy. She looked a little tipsy.
Tipsy. I had a lot of fun today. I'll definitely call you later.
We made it in time, but just barely.
All right, let's go.
Supposedly. The movie is supposedly based on the novel by the same name.
Sturdy. Be careful, that chair doesn't seem very sturdy.
People have poor judgment when they're drunk.
I made a lot of friends and learned a lot of things along the way.
Economic cycle is the long-term upward and downward movement of the GDP.
Excessive stress can make mental illnesses significantly worse.
She looked a little tipsy.
The movie is supposedly based on the novel by the same name.
Be careful. That chair doesn't seem very sturdy.
Which one? Cheaper. More. Is more. Which one is cheaper?
How about having sushi? How about having sushi?
He advised me to wait by next week until by. He advised me to wait until next week.
Can I get some water? Can I get some water?
This. Every song on this album is amazing. Every song on this album is amazing.
We don't have to go to New York. We don't have to go to New York.
It is
sad saying goodbye.
It's sad saying goodbye.
It probably won't snow tonight.
It probably won't snow tonight.
How many hours did you watch TV for?
How many hours did you watch TV for?
Christmas is a time when families come together. Comes.
Christmas is a time when families come together.
In 2018, the price reached $500.
The price reached $500 in 2018.
You don't have to get that permission. Permission for that.
You don't have to get permission for that.
It not only reduces your symptoms, but also helps you sleep.
It not only reduces your symptoms, but also helps you sleep.
Dad. Watch me to ride my bike. To
Dad, watch me ride my bike.
I am busy helping my friend move.
I'm busy helping my friend move.
I hear calling. The name my teacher. Heard, heard. My calling. Teacher. The teacher.
I heard the teacher calling my name. I heard the teacher calling my name.
Be ready.
Be ready.
There are millions of insect species.
There are millions of insect species.
He has a cat whose tail is only a couple inches long.
He has a cat whose tail is only a couple inches long.
Which one is cheaper?
Which one is cheaper?
I couldn't help singing along.
I couldn't help singing along.
He advised me to wait until next week.
He advised me to wait until next week.
He offered the position by the board.
He was offered the position by the board.
Board. Board.
so proud to see our son graduate.
We're so proud to see our son graduate.
He insisted that my mom take the money.
He insisted that my mom take the money.
Did you throw out the leftover cake?
Did you throw out the leftover cake?
We had better not wake up her.
We had better not wake her up.
You shouldn't talk to her that like.
You shouldn't talk to her like that.
She will never forget. When they first met.
She'll never forget when they first met.
You don't have to do it today.
You don't have to do it today.
Her job is teaching kids.
Her job is teaching kids.
One must learn to walk before they can run.
One must learn to walk before they can run.
That desk is Niles.
That desk is Niles.
I have been to Disney World 3 times.
I've been to Disney World 3 times.
The important thing is everyone is okay.
The important thing is that everyone is okay.
Be yourself, and you will be fine.
Be yourself and you'll be fine.
Don't tell your other friends.
Don't tell your other friends.
I heard my teacher calling the name.
I heard the teacher calling my name.
Did you lost your dog?
Have you lost your dog?
She was so happy to get finally a job. Finally.
She was so happy to finally get a job.
No, he isn't.
Is he tall? No, he isn't.
There is no use. Wasting time any more. Any.
There's no use wasting any more time.
Is Chris a doctor?
Is Chris a doctor?
Turn the down volume down a bit, will you?
Turn the volume down a bit, will you?
He was offered the position by the board.
He was offered the position by the board.
We are moving at the end of next month. On.
We're moving at the end of next month.
These clothes don't need to wash. To washing.
These clothes don't need washing.
We had better not wake her up.
We had better not wake her up.
How do you do that?
How do you do that?
Is everything spicy?
Is everything here spicy?
It is important to eat lots of vegetables.
It's important to eat lots of vegetables.
Each present has a ribbon on top.
Each present has a ribbon on top.
He is the one of the oldest people in the world.
He's one of the oldest people in the world.
Mary doesn't like coffee either.
Mary doesn't like coffee either.
There wasn't an alternative.
There wasn't an alternative.
Dad and I go golfing twice a month.
My dad and I go golfing twice a month.
Each student gets their own desk.
Each student gets their own desk.
How many brothers do you have?
How many brothers do you have?
Classes are going to get just intense, more and more intense.
Classes are just going to get more and more intense.
I heard my teacher calling the name
I heard the teacher calling my name.
Have you lost your dog?
Have you lost your dog?
She was so happy to finally get a job.
She was so happy to finally get a job.
I recommend that you eat more vegetables.
I recommend that you eat more vegetables.
Yes, she does.
Does your sister like art? Yes, she does.
She wrote me a letter.
She wrote me a letter.
Isn't there a rule about that?
Isn't there a rule about that?
Do you see the boy that crossing street?
Do you see that boy crossing the street?
Danielle wakes up earlier than I do.
Danielle wakes up earlier than I do.
You need to stay still. Still.
You need to stay still.
There is no use wasting any more time.
There's no use wasting any more time.
Will you call me back later?
Will you call me back later?
I was amazed. Amazed. Amazed by her amazing performance.
I was amazed by her amazing performance.
This folder is hers.
This folder is hers.
Don't forget your book, will you?
Don't forget your book, will you?
I have a hard time talking to native speakers. Still,
I still have a hard time talking to native speakers.
We are moving at the end of next month.
We're moving at the end of next month.
I didn't like any of them.
I didn't like any of them.
It is important for you to eat balanced meals.
It's important for you to eat balanced meals.
We live on 10 the top floor of a 10-story apartment building in
We live on the top floor of a 10-story apartment building.
What handsome he is. How? What?
How handsome he is.
we have few options.
We have few options.
Isn't this version the same as last time?
Isn't this version the same as last time?
Do I have to memorize all of these lines?
Do I have to memorize all of these lines?
Classes are going to get just more and more intense.
Classes are just going to get more and more intense.
Aren't you going camping this weekend?
Aren't you going camping this weekend?
Do you see that boy cross the street?
Do you see that boy crossing the street?
Visitors must not feed animals.
Visitors must not feed the animals.
You need to stay still.
You need to stay still.
Which one do you want?
Which one do you want?
We would go to the beach almost Every weekends. Weekend.
We would go to the beach almost every weekend.
If I had arrived earlier. Arrived. Left. Home earlier. I would have arrived on time.
If I had left home earlier, I would have arrived on time.
He is a strong as
He's as strong as a tiger.
Some. Were. Suits. Wearing suits. While the others were in casual clothes.
Some are wearing suits, while the others were in casual clothes.
how handsome he is.
How handsome he is.
Visitors must not feed the animals.
Visitors must not feed the animals.
He is as strong as a tiger.
He's as strong as a tiger.